Hello, this is Angie Burns, the owner and publisher of the Burns Team City Lifestyle, and welcome to City Lifestyle with Angie Burns. We love to celebrate the best-in-class businesses, the organizations making a difference in our community, and the individuals who are making an impact on our residents here in our area. Hello, and welcome back to City Lifestyle with Angie Burns. Our guest today is Carmen, who owns VIO Med Spa at Park and Preston in Plano. And I'm so excited to have you here today. So thank you for joining us.
Absolutely. My pleasure, Angie.
So,
hello, everyone.
I am very excited to talk to Carmen today because we have had some conversations that I think the world needs to hear, because it has been a very hot topic lately on mom pages and social media and things like that about just med spas in general. So we're going to dive deep into, how do you find a good med spa? What's allowed? What's not allowed? What should people be looking for? Do you tip? We're going to talk about all of those things today. So tell us first and foremost, how did you get involved in the aesthetics world and get where you are today to be an owner of a med spa?
Well, I absolutely love that, Angie. My background is in healthcare. I've been in rehabilitation. I'm a speech language pathologist and audiologist by training, and I've been doing that for over 30 years with physical therapists, occupational therapists, and love being able to give something back to someone, something you've taken for granted your whole life. Once you lose it, it's devastating. Yeah. And as a consumer of med spa services myself, I became increasingly interested in aesthetics while equally growing as frustrated with traditional healthcare because of the bureaucracy associated with insurance claims and reimbursement and so forth. And so I did my homework. I checked into it, checked out a few franchises, really liked VO. It's VIO, which stands for value in ourselves.
I always get confused because it's like the V/O, and I'm like,
right.
But then when you see it online, it's VIO, and I'm like, is it VO? Is it VO?
Right.
Like,
that's
so, okay, value
excellent.
In yourself.
And people think it has to do with my last name, but it's not at all
that's
related.
True, because your last name is Vitton.
Yes.
But any relation to Louis?
No, we're without the U and without the cash. So, but anyway, VIO stands for value in ourselves, and we should all be investing in ourselves because it pays.
Absolutely.
And the world treats us differently when we respond, when we respect ourselves, and we demonstrate that through how we take care of our weight, our health, our well-being, our energy, our appearance, our skin, because it translates to confidence. And we all want to be confident when we go through the world. It helps you with your business, your job, your personal relationships. And my goal is to help people look and feel their best, feel amazing. But I want them to be educated about the med spa that they're choosing, that they're selecting, what to look out for, what to be leery of, and what identifies a reputable spa versus a questionable location. Yeah. So I really want consumers to be aware, because we have to educate ourselves.
Yeah. And that's one of the things that we look for with City Lifestyle is we only partner with 3 per industry. And everybody's always like, there's 500 med spas. How did you know which 3 to partner with?
There are,
we
yes.
came and met you first.
Yes.
We get to know everybody that we partner with. We have to tour the location. We make sure that you don't have any negative Better Business Bureau or negative. We check all of your reviews. We make sure we get to know that you know what you're talking about.
Absolutely.
We look for people who are knowledgeable and experienced and educated in what they're doing.
Right.
And you obviously have that background. And your salon is gorgeous. Studio is gorgeous.
Thank you.
And so whenever I walked in, it was a different feel. It didn't feel like a turn and burn aesthetics clinic. It felt like everybody knew what they were doing. Everybody was, the clients that came in while we were there, when we first came in to tour with you guys, were happy. And they seemed like they were coming out more educated. And that is what we look for, is somebody who's going to be doing it but putting people over a profit, not just doing it to make money, but to help people.
Absolutely.
And I truly feel like you do that in your space. And so I want you now to share your wisdom with our viewers and listeners and tell us a little bit about, everybody thinks of med spas and they're like, oh, Botox. That's the first thing they think of.
Sure.
But you guys do so much more than that. They
We
think
do.
facials, they think Botox. So run us through the list of services you provide
Sure.
and the benefits of those
Sure.
for someone's
How about if I
well-being.
start with just an overview or differentiating a day spa versus a
Love
med
it.
spa?
Yes.
So a day spa, you're going to see things like surface level treatments, feel good stuff like maybe massage, maybe steamers, massage tables, things like that, maybe mani-pedi, things that are just surface level you're gonna feel good when you leave there that day.
You
A
go there
med
to
spa,
relax.
yes, ma'am.
Yes. Yeah.
Perfect. And a med spa, conversely, is going to be focused on an outcome-driven result through a non-surgical aesthetic treatment that's going to treat a condition or a concern that's a little bit more deep-seated, such as melasma, hyperpigmentation, things that have been going on that cannot be addressed easily or very well by a day spa because they may not have the education, the equipment, the background, the credentials, the licensed personnel
And
to
you have
perform
to have
those
a medical
services.
director for a med
Yes,
spa.
Mom. Ma'am, absolutely. Sorry. Yes, we actually, and one of the things I loved about VIO is that I had to take 240 hours. I had to take 6 weeks of full-time education in order to even be considered to become an owner, which after 30 years in the healthcare industry, good for them.
Yes.
And so I also have a background in compliance. And so I loved that VIO was so heavy on compliance and so interested in following the guidelines, all the state delegation tables for every state, which vary. At VIO, we have a corporate medical director, Dr. Alan Durkin, who is a dual board-certified reconstructive and plastic surgeon on Ocean Drive in Florida. And he flies all over the country. He does 3-day trainings for all of our injectors. So we have a lead clinical training injector. We have Dr. Durkin. We also have lead aesthetic trainers that provide training for our estheticians nationwide. And then locally, we also have a medical director, Texas licensed medical director, Dr. Ann. She comes probably once every other week, spends time with the ladies, reviews our documentation, and I hear about it if our documentation and all of our ducks are not in a row, which they should be.
Right.
When you leave a med spa, you need to know what was put in your face. You need to know what products were used. You need to know the difference of whether or not you received a filler or did you receive a neurotoxin, which is a Botox, which is it's not going to allow the muscle to move. You need to know these things. You need to know if you got Sculptra, did you get Radiesse? The brands of the products that you are using differ and vary based on certain qualities of your skin and requirements that your injector, an educated injector, will assess you for and determine what product is best for you. So not every product fits both of us. Also, it has to do with your pigmentation, how light, fair, or dark your skin is, depends on what products or treatments we can actually provide for you. But all of our protocols are reviewed by not only our corporate medical director, but also my local medical director. She has to feel comfortable with the services for which she is responsible that are provided by my nurse practitioners, my physician's assistant, as well as our laser safety officer and medical estheticians.
So it's really a glorified doctor's office.
Yes, ma'am. Very much a medical practice. When you come in, you should receive a very thorough medical history, a review. This is what your medications you're on. These are the procedures you've had in the past. These are the conditions you have. Oh, well, okay, here's a condition, and that's a contraindication for the service for which you are seeking. However, as the medical provider, it is my responsibility to then educate you on what your alternatives are. Well, maybe we can't do this, Angie, but here are your alternatives, and you should be provided with those things. No one should ever pressure you or steer you toward a service that you may be not comfortable with, or you may not be knowledgeable about enough yet, but do your research, do your homework. One of the easiest things to do is before you go to a med spa, look at their website. So look at the providers. There should be a bio, a history of each provider with their credentials listed, where they got their education, what kind of training they've had. If you don't see a list of providers on your med spa's website, that would bring me concerns that perhaps there's a lot of turnover, or perhaps there is a complaint against a certain provider from a regulatory or a governing board. And if that's the case, they may have a something against their licensure, which the spa may not want you to know about.
Yeah.
They may not have licensed medical personnel in their med spa. So please be wary of...
That's scary. That scares me.
It is. I just want to, you need to be seeing name tags. If you don't see name tags with credentials listed, I want to know if you have a master's, if you're a PA. I want to know if you're an RN. I want to know what your credential is because I want to know who I'm speaking to. And the general public needs to know that as well.
Yeah.
Whether or not I'm a front desk experience specialist, or if I'm an esthetician, or if I might be a nurse practitioner. I mean, it's very interesting also to note so many people think that a physician's assistant can do more independently of the physician than a nurse practitioner can. But that's not true.
Right.
The nurse practitioner can actually practice independent of the physician's license, such as ordering labs and ordering medications, diagnosing certain things, whereas the PA is always tied to that physician's license. So but look for the credentials, Angi.
When you are... So nurse practitioners, things like that. So when you do like medications, weight loss medications.
Yes.
So that's a big trend right now as well.
Yes.
All of the
my
GLP-1s and all of the things. You do that.
Yes, we do.
But you do it as a medical practice, not as just anybody come in and...
In a very responsible manner.
Sell you a weight loss program.
Ma'am. It has to be prescribed to you by a nurse practitioner, a physician, a physician's assistant. An esthetician cannot do that, nor can a laser safety officer or just even a regular esthetician. You need to have labs. Your labs need to be reviewed within the last 6 months. You need to have a thorough medical history. And GLP-1s, whether it be Ozempic, trizipatide, whatever product it is you're using, one of those is not the right one for everyone either, nor is everyone appropriate for the same dosing level.
Yeah.
And you need to see your practitioner to also receive education and guidance about what's going to happen to you and your body as you experience this weight loss. People were not advised or coached appropriately in the beginning when these medications first came out. Everyone was running to them, losing massive amounts of weight. Well, at the same time, so too are you losing that equal amount, if not more, of muscle mass?
Of muscle mass, yeah.
And muscle mass is now the most important predictor of longevity.
Wow.
And it used to be grip strength from a therapy perspective. Now it's muscle mass. So the more muscle mass, lean muscle mass you have as we age, as we progress, it's going to prevent me from falls and injuries and my aches and pains and all that kind of thing. So you need your muscle mass. You have to consume protein. And people were not being told that.
Right.
There's also other things that you can do, other medications, other peptides, things that you can supplement during that process. So you look and feel your best and you don't end up with what we're seeing now. We're called pancake butt.
Yeah.
It's being called Ozempic face. I mean, you're seeing Ozempic neck.
People are just losing so much weight. They look scary.
Faster.
They look frail. And yes.
And so then, oh my gosh, that creates a whole nother issue of skin tightening.
Yeah.
And so people who've lost weight, okay, great. I've lost all this weight, but now my arms are jiggly. Maybe my tummy is, my thighs, my face, my neck. And so, okay, so a lot of those people are looking towards skin rejuvenation services, which unfortunately is a natural byproduct of this whole weight loss kick the world is on.
Yeah.
So
just eat better.
Yes.
And take care of yourself. Exercise. Eat better.
And one of the things I just want to say, Angi, that I really want to stress with people is that, if you don't care about the education level or the training of your provider, you don't care whether or not they are using responsibly sourced, FDA-approved medications from reputable pharmacies, you don't care if the equipment you're getting is a knockoff or is not manufactured consumable, or you don't care if the injectables you're getting, you don't really care what you're getting, what they've been reconstituted with, then you need to just look out for price. Go to the place that has Groupon. But if you're looking for qualified medical personnel, Angi, I can't stress it enough, the things you need to look for are education, training, experience. Look at their websites. Look at their before and afters. Look at the Google reviews. That will tell you a lot.
It does. It
and
absolutely
then,
does.
Once you get there, Angi, upon arrival, if I get to a place and I see that the staff, I'm seeing these extremely overly done, overly processed individuals,
Mm-hmm.
and that's not the goal I'm seeking, then I probably don't want to go
Right.
there. I
And it's
probably want to go somewhere
okay
else.
if you get somewhere and you don't feel comfortable
Absolutely.
to leave.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't let them put something in your face or put you under a machine and do something if you're not comfortable.
Right.
And a lot of people feel bad. They like, oh, I went in, I
No.
made this appointment,
No.
and then I got there and I was like, oh my gosh, everybody looks like, you know, a plastic Barbie doll that isn't a real human.
Yeah.
And I don't want to look like that, but I
No.
also I don't want to hurt their feelings and leave.
Right.
Okay, well, hurt their feelings, save your face.
Right.
Like,
Right.
don't do that.
Right.
And I love
agree.
that about your team. The girls that are there are very natural looking.
Thank you.
They are beautiful. And I saw some before and after photos of is it Kennedy
Yes.
that did the whole, she had a lot of issues with acne scarring and things
acneic
like that.
skin.
Would
Yes.
never have known looking at her now.
Yeah.
She showed me her pictures from before all of her treatments started.
Uh-huh.
And then I happened to be there one day when she was getting one, and we actually videoed it, and we have a video that we're about to put out for you guys.
Awesome.
But we watched kind of the process that she's gone through over these several months, and the difference in her skin is amazing.
It's incredible.
It's beautiful. She has such glowing skin.
She's a gorgeous young lady.
She is.
Microneedling is my latest and greatest, most exciting, fascinating go-to thing that I'm loving these days. But one of the things I want to share with the ladies as well is that you should be given a full consultation. These providers should not be afraid to spend time with you. We schedule ours for 15 to 30 minutes because I want to know about you. I want to know what your pain points are. I want to know what your goals are. I want to know if you've got a big event. Maybe your daughter's getting married this summer.
Yeah.
Well, okay, that's my time frame. This is how much time we have.
Yeah.
We got to lay out your map, lay out your treatment plan. This is what we got to accomplish in this amount of time.
And some of these things take time to heal.
Yes, they do.
And that's what a lot of people don't realize.
Yes.
This is not a day spa. You may not come out feeling great.
Right.
You're going to look great later, but some of them you're going to be red for days. Your face is going to peel after. So if you have a big event coming up, you may not want to do a big, dermaplaning, microblading. You don't want to do that, a chemical peel, if you have an event the next day or day after. So
exactly.
The right provider is going to go over those things with you.
Yes.
They're not going to let you just come in and do something and then regret it later.
And those are the things that we need to know.
Yeah.
I don't ever want anyone to come into our spa and we treat them without asking all of these questions, because you need to be, and I have an obligation to educate you, to provide you with information, written information, a treatment plan, consent form, so that you are informed about any risks, complications, any contraindications, anything that should arise after the fact. And then I also have an obligation to follow up with you afterward. I'm going to call you after your treatment. We're going to invite you to come back in a week or two after your treatment so we can make sure your healing and your healing is on the right track and that we're moving toward your goal. And so providers should never be afraid or too strapped for time to provide that to you.
Absolutely.
And you should be given written instructions on your post-care, what to do when you go home, what to use, what not to use. Sometimes there's lifestyle activities, no alcohol, no exercise, no
sun.
Don't sleep on your stomach. Just certain things that we've been advised not to do.
We all get like that book whenever we leave the doctor's office or the ER,
folder,
right?
yes.
You get all the things, and you should get that for a med spa as well. Yeah,
yes.
I love that.
Yes.
Okay, I've got 2 more questions for you because we're running out of time. So question number 1, are med spas just for women?
Oh, no, please. And they're not just for women, old women, my age. No. Men care equally as much about their weight loss, their appearance, their muscle mass, their libido, their skin. Yes, men care about their acne scarring, the wrinkles, and it's okay.
And it shouldn't be taboo for a man to go into a med spa. They shouldn't feel bad about that.
And it shouldn't be just older gentlemen. I had high school boys. I had 3 young men come to our spa.
And they're the sweetest.
Yes, I met them. I love
Sweetest.
them. And one young man told me he knows what a toner was, and I was so proud of him. I teared. But anyway, it's wonderful. So it is not just for women, men, and that is why VIO is so neutral in our palette throughout.
Yeah.
There's no chick stuff. There's
Right,
no
yeah.
flowers. There's no mauve-y, pinky, whatever.
Yeah, it's just a clean, modern aesthetic.
Yes,
Yeah.
because I want men to feel welcome, but also people of all ages. People
Mhm.
ask me, what is your demographic? Don't you just want, 40 and over? Well, 40 and over may have the disposable income, but let me tell you, younger people are making the decisions.
And the earlier you start taking care of your skin, the longer it's
Yes,
gonna
because it
last,
all
and the less you're gonna need in the long run.
Yes, ma'am. It also has a cumulative effect, and that's
Mhm.
why you have to plan your treatments in advance, because usually the outcome or the results of one treatment are only improved by additional treatments. We usually like to say 3 to treat, 6 to fix, but
Oh,
it's
okay.
it's just a general guideline. So it's not just a one and done kind of a
Right.
situation.
That's a day
Um,
spa. A day spa is a one and done.
yes,
That's where you wanna go
exactly.
in to relax, feel better. "Oh, I feel so fresh and clean."
Exactly. Yes.
Great.
If you
You
really
didn't really
wanted to
heal
move the
anything. Right.
needle with the concerns that you have from a med spa perspective, consistency is key. You must come on a routine basis or at least follow up with the treatments that have
Yep.
been started or outlined for you. Or you won't get the goals or reach the goals that you really want. But also the younger folks, people in their 20s and 30s now are doing aesthetic treatments for a preventative reason,
Mhm.
because they're understanding that by the time they get to their mid 60s, they
Which, by
can't
the
just start.
way,
They can't just start
this
then,
woman right
Angie.
here just said she's in her mid-60s. This right here is your billboard of why you need to go to VIO med
Thank you.
spa.
Thank you, Angie.
Like, goals.
Well, you can't just start, at 50, at 60, at 40, and having never taken care of your face, your skin before,
Right.
because it starts in your 20s.
Yeah.
Sunscreen. In your 30s, a lot of young ladies are doing things now to prevent lines and
Yes,
wrinkles,
yeah.
because that's why we have them, because they've been here on my face for so long.
Yeah, and those of us in our 40s were the ones that were
Oh.
addicted to the tanning beds. My
Yes,
generation.
yes,
So I
yes.
just turned 45, and I've had basal cell carcinoma removed 3 times because
I have as well,
spent,
Angie, on my neck.
I
Yeah.
spent all of my
Baby oil
late teens,
on the
early
roof.
20s. Yeah, I mean, let's do baby oil, let's do the lemon in our hair, and let's lay out in the sun, or let's go in the tanning beds. And I remember there were times when I was in high school that people died because they went to like 3 tanning beds in a row trying to get a tan
Oh my gosh.
for prom or whatever. And
Crazy.
it's ridiculous. Like, we didn't know what we know now.
But you know what? Unfortunately, we trusted it.
Right.
And that's how people are viewing a med spa. Well,
Right.
because it's called a med spa, well, then it should be just like my doctor's office. But oftentimes they're not. So please do your homework.
Yeah.
But then, yes, the younger population, they are
And come and fix all the damage we did to ourselves. Yeah.
They are embracing spa services. Me in my little party, I'd be over in the corner whispering about where I got my Botox or
Yeah.
where I got my filler, where I got my eyes done. And 20 and 30-year-olds, man, they're having the party because they're celebrating what they
Right.
did
Yes.
for themselves. They invested in themselves, and they
Right.
see it differently than something that should be hidden.
Right. It's
And
not
I
taboo
love
anymore.
that.
Right.
No, it's
Yeah.
not.
Okay.
We all, self-care is what it's all about, and I think COVID taught us all that. And
Yes. Yeah.
self-care, people.
Okay, let's transition to something that is a little taboo.
Sorry.
It's a big hot topic, and I've seen it a lot lately, and I asked you your opinion earlier, and clearly it's a hot topic with you as well. So let's talk about, do you or do you not tip your injector?
Have you ever tipped your physician? I have gone to my dermatologist's office for years for aesthetic treatments or perhaps injectables, sclerotherapy, what have you. Never once has my medical esthetician, my nurse practitioner, my physician, upon checkout, nor have any of the desk ladies ever asked me if I'd like to leave a tip. So that to me is, it's the compliance issue. It's a medical service.
Mhm.
People should not be incentivized for providing a medical service. So it's perfectly acceptable to me to tip your esthetician if you like for your facial. But I don't feel it's appropriate, Angie, for medical personnel to be receiving tips from consumers. Of course, there's a lot of people that have such a wonderful relationship
Right.
with their injector. And if they wish to do that,
Buy
then
them a
so
gift.
be it. Yes,
Yeah,
whatever
buy 'em
the
a
case
gift.
may be. Take them to lunch, whatever you would like. But I personally have an issue with being asked after a medical procedure if I'd like to leave a tip. It just doesn't
Yeah,
sit
it
well
doesn't
with
sit
me. And I'm opposed to it.
Yeah.
Well,
There you have it. You now all know
Sorry.
the answer. If they are providing a medical service, you do not tip. If they are providing a beautification service that is more of an esthetician versus a medical provider, then you are welcome to tip. So thank you so much for
You're so
joining us.
welcome.
Oh my
Thank
gosh, this was
you.
lovely.
Thank you, City
Tell
Lifestyle.
us one more time how everyone can reach you and where you're located.
VIO Med Spa. We're on the northeast corner of Park and Preston. We're just down from the Trader Joe's, between the REI and the Sample House Candle Shop. So we're there. You can reach us. Our phone number is 945-284-0815, or you can find us on Instagram at VIO Plano, or you can find us on the web at viomedspa.com/locations/Plano. Thank you, Angie.
Thank you. Y'all have a good day.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
If you are looking for the best place to market your business to our local community, we are a nationwide brand, so we have over 200 publications across the nation, and we really do value high editorial integrity, beautiful photography, and making sure that your story is told in a respectable and beautiful way. So if you would like to learn more about how to become an advertising partner of City Lifestyle Publications, feel free to reach out to us because we are your ticket in the door to get you face-to-face with your next client.